What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Shoe with Dominique Smith. I am your host, Dominique Smith, and I am excited to bring you one of the country's best 2023 offensive line prospects from Carrollwood Day in Tampa, Florida, none other than Mr. Clay Wedin. Clay, what's going on with you, man? Thank you for being on the show.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, brother. So I've asked this question in the previous interviews that I've done, and I'm thinking that this is going to be a question for offensive linemen specifically and defensive linemen. So if you had to compare your game to one of the Avengers, which one would it be?
Oof. I'd say the Hulk.
The Hulk.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Why is that?
Just big, just go out there and mess up some people. Yes, sir.
Listen, that's definitely your game. I'm going to attach Clay's huddle to the end of the video or Twitter. I'm bad at technology, but you will find Clay's huddle and you will be just as afraid as his opponents. Clay, man, you dominated all season long for Carrollwood Day. How did you feel like your season went, your sophomore season went?
I felt like it did pretty good. I mean, there's always more to improve on. You could always do better, but just waiting for this next season, trying to take another big step.
What are some of the things you're doing to improve your game this offseason?
Right now, just working on technique, getting stronger, faster, and getting smarter with the game.
Yeah, definitely. What was the most memorable game that you guys played this season? Because I went through and there were some close games. You guys beat some pretty good teams. What was the one that stands out to you the most?
I would say probably the first one, Northside Christian.
Oh, yeah. Is that a rivalry with you guys or?
Yes, they're just a little bit.
Definitely getting a chance to dominate. You're physical, man. What are some of the things that you pride yourself on as an offensive lineman? Because from what I saw, I saw, film of you playing tackle, but it looks like you have the versatility to slide inside and play guard if needed. And you have just a great power punch. Once you get your hands on the guy, it's over with. So what are some of the things that you pride yourself on? And what's your mentality, I would say, as an offensive lineman when you step out on the field?
Yes, sir. So like you said, I like to keep thinking of myself as versatile. I like to be able to play multiple positions. I feel like I have good heavy hands, quick feet, always trying to be dominant in the game, always just destroy the guy every single play, just hopelessness for him.
How did you – I love that. That's a great offensive lineman mentality. How did you get into football?
Well, I used to play basketball and volleyball a lot.
Really?
And, yes, sir. A lot of that. In basketball, it's just getting a little too physical, so wanted to kind of up it a little bit. So went to football, 8th grade.
Okay. So you've only been playing for a couple years.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's impressive. So you played volleyball. Was it sand volleyball? Was it just on-court volleyball? Or
just on court.
Okay. Because really you don't – I think you're the first football player that I've met that says that they play volleyball. So what is it about volleyball that helps you as an offensive tackle? I would imagine the explosiveness, definitely.
Yeah, I would definitely say that, and lateral quickness. Sideways, side to side was a big one, especially when blocking on the net.
Do you still play volleyball? Because I know they have boys volleyball in the spring, and you're 6'6", man. I don't think anybody's beating Carrollwood Day if you step out on the court.
Yes, sir. Not anymore. Just training for football now.
Oh, man, that's fun. So what has this recruiting process been like? You have offers from pretty much anyone, all the major, schools, FSU, Ohio State, Alabama. As a 2023 prospect, obviously you have a couple more years. September 1st, is when the coaches get a chance to contact you. But what has it been like for you so far?
So far it's been a very good blessing. Very blessed. Feel like it's getting good right now with the relationships, starting to kind of see who's interested, who might not be. But like you said, it's still very early in the process and many things can change.
Have you been able to take any visits yet, just on your own? I know that they're going to, well, hopefully they're going to open up the dead period, and they're going to allow you guys to take some visits, do some camps. That way you can, you know, it's weird. These past 2 cycles, it seems like they may have to make a decision without visiting the campus. But have you made any visits on your own lately?
Not lately, no, sir.
Okay. Is there anywhere that you're thinking of visiting when things open up?
There's a few. Ohio State, Florida State, Alabama, Florida, Georgia. That's a couple of them. There might be a couple more in there.
Are you ready to potentially? So it's 91 degrees here today. Would you be willing to leave the South for the cold? Because the good thing about your game is it translates to every conference. So it really doesn't matter if you're in the ACC, the SEC, the Big Ten. But would you really leave for that cold weather? Like that's a different climate.
Yes, sir. I actually love the cold weather. This heat, I'm kind of getting a little tired of the heat. So love to get some of that chillier weather.
I know, man. It's just killing. It's like today is so hot. It's like the early preview of summer, and it is brutal. I don't think, you know, people say, oh, Florida speed, but there's a certain toughness when you have to hit a dude consistently when the humidity is like 105 and everything. So let's get off football for a
Yes,
second,
sir.
man. Let's get off football. So who is Clay Wedin outside of the field?
He's a outdoorsman. Loves hunting, loves fishing. A quick Christian. Just love hanging with the friends, with the family. Just not too complicated.
You're just a simple man.
Yes, sir. Pretty simple.
What's the biggest fish that you've caught?
Probably, I would say a 50-pound black tip shark.
What? When was this? Like recently or?
Not too recent. Probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I would say.
That is crazy. How often do you get a chance to go fishing?
Not too often anymore. We've been doing more, a lot more of the training.
Yeah.
So we haven't had as much time, but sometimes we'll get out there once in a while for some snook and redfish.
So have you, well, for a career, obviously, you know, you don't have to have your major decided now, but is the outdoors something that you would like to continue to do post football? Is there a certain avenue that you feel, you know, comfortable with where, you know, I don't know, I have a friend that works at a location called Pheasants Forever. And, you know, it's certain things like that, but is that something that, you know, you want to do long term?
It definitely could be possible. Right now I'm looking a lot into more strength conditioning, sports medicine, more of that style.
Okay. And just kind of be a trainer and a coach, definitely.
Yes, sir.
Definitely, I see that. If, and this is another question that I like to ask, but football gives you the ability, especially when you're someone like yourself, there's so many causes, so many things going on in the world that, you know, when you're blessed with a platform, you get a chance to bring awareness to those things. What is a cause that is near and dear to your heart that you would hope to use your platform to really, you know, bring light to and make a difference in?
One of them would definitely be a hurricane relief.
Okay.
I really inspired after that one, after J.J. Watt, seeing how much he founded for them over there in Texas, and really loved that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know, Florida, we definitely, unfortunately, you know, kind of, you know, get our fair share. So let's hop back to recruiting for a second, and just on the football field. What are you looking for in a college, in a university? What are some of the things, the big things that you need to see to make a decision on where you need to be?
Some of the big things I would say right now is the degrees, seeing what they have to offer there, cultural, what type of culture they have, and developmental is a big one. Like strength coaches, seeing how they're going to develop me, since one of my goals is to get into the NFL. I want to see how they can help me prepare for that, help me get into there.
Who's the team that you grew up watching and grew up rooting for professional sports at least?
There's a couple. I would say Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So how do you like the Cowboys now that everything is just kind of chaotic over there in Dallas.
Yeah, it's a little different there. I really loved their line there for a sec, but it seems
Oh my
they're all
gosh.
either retiring or injured.
Who would you compare your game to? Because, like you said, they have such a physical line with Smith and Zach Martin and so many people. Who would you compare your game to?
I try and compare my game a lot to Tyron Smith. Everything about him I love, just his athleticism, quickness, technique, just about everything I've seen is almost spot on from him.
You guys have, and obviously, people may not know this, but you guys had some talent on your high school team. You had Michael Trigg. I believe he went to USC to play football. Now that you're a junior, and I would assume that you're going to take more of a leadership role, what is your style of leadership, and what are some of the things that you really want to do to rally the troops to make a run this year?
Some of them is leading by example. I like to do a lot. Make sure that they see this is how you do it. This is how you do it, right?
Yeah.
That I'm getting a lot more verbal right now. So trying to lead them with words as well. Get on them, but also encourage them is a big one. Say those two are the main ones right now.
And just maybe, with the way that you play, you have to assume that your practice habits, are really good too. So you've played basketball, you've played volleyball. Are you involved in any other sports or just football right now?
Just football.
How do you feel? And a lot of people say this, so I guess I want to ask it the right way. Would you consider it worth it to have played those other sports? Because a lot of people concentrate on football, but someone like you can definitely see, you had to be a pretty good volleyball player because, you look at, kind of your sets, when you play and boxing out and things like that. Do you think it benefits athletes to concentrate on one sport or at least have some sort of experience in other sports? Because both, you can make the argument that both, can have its benefits, but you personally having that experience, what would you say to that?
That's a really hard question, to be honest. I could see that's a really good one. Volleyball, its benefits, I feel like it's explosion. You get a lot more leverage, the lateral vertical quickness. So I definitely could see that translating over to football, just take away the physical aspect of it.
Yeah. So let's the last few questions. Let's touch on Ohio State. When did they offer you?
They offered me, I believe, July, August, right around there.
How do you feel like you would? Are they recruiting you to play guard or tackle?
Not too sure yet.
Okay.
Just be there, contribute for the team right now.
Exactly. How do you feel like your style translates to how they play? Especially, they run 11 personnel, 12 personnel. They like to be physical. You saw it against Clemson. How do you feel like your game can kind of translate to that level of play?
I feel like it'd be pretty good. I feel like it would benefit me in the run game, but also with Ohio State, I really like how they aren't just one side of the ball, just running or just passing. They can do either or.
Yeah. So last couple questions for you, man, and I'm going to let you go. I know you have a lot to do. If you had, let me say this, what's your favorite genre of music? One that you listen to all the time?
Heavy metal.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. If you had to pick a heavy metal song, let's do two. One heavy metal song to describe your life, one heavy metal song to describe you as a football player. Which songs would you choose?
I would say for my life, that's a real good one. It's a real good one. I don't know if I could think of any right now.
All right, so let's just stick to a football player.
I'd say football, probably Pantera's Walk.
Okay, I can see that. And then my last one. So if there was one food that you had to live on for the rest of your life, I mean, you couldn't have sides, anything for the rest of your life, you had to live on this food. Mine's fried chicken, but I'm curious, what would yours be?
Smoked spare ribs.
Do you? Oh, wow. That's actually interesting. I've never heard anyone say spare ribs. Is that something that you do on your own?
It's my dad cooks it.
Oh my gosh. So tell me what that tastes like. I've had spare ribs before, but people cook them differently. So what is that process like? I'm actually interested in that.
That one, it's very similar to any of the other ribs. You put them in the smoker 6 to 8 hours, cooking them low. You get your marinade, your rubs, seasonings, and all that. Put them on the grill. Putting the marinade or the seasonings on it as they grill it. The grill is just to kind of bake it off. It got most of it done in the smoker. Just put it on the grill for like 10, 15 minutes, I'd say.
Oh my gosh. You just gave me an idea. I'm going to have to try that. But listen, man, I know that you have a busy schedule, and I appreciate you taking the time out to chat with me. You're a very impressive young man on and off the football field. Like I said, we're going to have your huddle highlights so that people can see. I would definitely say viewer discretion is advised because Clay didn't mess around for Carrollwood Day, and the competition in Tampa is elite. So listen, thank you so much for joining. I want to thank the audience again for checking out Beyond the Shoe. You can follow. What is your Twitter handle?
Clay Wedin.
Clay Wedin. At Clay Wedin on Twitter. You can follow me at DomSmith_news on Twitter, and follow Buckeye Scoop on Twitter. We'll have more information for you. Check out everything that we're doing. Definitely be sure to give Clay a follow and follow suit on his season. Clay, thank you again.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.